Hello true crime fans and welcome to Behind the Yellow Tape. The palm trees of Jupiter, Florida usually sway in a way that suggests peace, luxury and the steady rhythm of the Atlantic. But in March 2020, as the world began to shutter its doors against a global pandemic, a different kind of silence settled over the home of Gretchen Anthony. It was a silence born not of isolation, but of a calculated, violent erasure. Gretchen was a woman described by friends as a bright light, a dedicated mum, and a successful professional. David Anthony, her estranged husband, was the shadow that sought to extinguish that light. By early 2020, the marriage was over. Gretchen had filed for divorce, seeking a clean break from David's increasingly erratic behaviour. But David wasn't finished. On the morning of the 21st of March at approximately 6:15 a.m, Gretchen's front door camera captured David lurking on her patio, dressed in a dark attire. As she stepped out, the audio caught the beginning of the end. Muffled shouting followed by what neighbours described as a blood-curdling scream. One witness recalled hearing her desperate pleas, "No, no, it hurts." The assault was not a quick event, it was a brutal struggle that migrated from the living quarters to the garage. Forensic evidence later painted a terrifying picture of Gretchen's final moments. Investigators found a broken picture frame and shards of glass scattered across her bed, indicating the struggle began while she was most vulnerable. Small drops of blood were discovered on the master bedroom wall, tiny red testimonies to the initial violence. But the garage held the most graphic evidence. David had forced her into the confined space where he ultimately ended her life. As part of his eventual plea deal, David admitted to stabbing Gretchen repeatedly in the neck and torso. Security footage from a camera inside the garage, before David reached up with a gloved hand to rip it down, captured a haunting image. The top of a blonde head, unmoving on the floor, next to a water jug smeared with blood. After the killing, the cleanup began. David used the early morning hours to scrub the concrete. Neighbours later reported seeing a stream of water mixed with a pungent, soapy chemical flowing from under the garage door into the alley. When police finally breached the home, they found the deadbolt snapped off from the inside and a washing machine still holding towels soaked in a reddish substance. Despite his efforts to use the COVID-19 pandemic as a smokescreen, sending texts from Gretchen's phone claiming she was in a CDC facility, the physical reality was undeniable. David Anthony eventually led authorities to a shallow grave behind a Walmart in Florida. There they found what remained of Gretchen, nearly 200 miles away from the garage where her screams were silenced. He was sentenced to just 38 years in prison. He left behind a daughter without a mum and a grim reminder that the most dangerous person in the room is often the one who knows exactly how to break you. Thank you for listening today, and remember, stay behind the yellow tape.